Supreme Chancellor Obi-Wan Kenobi by Stone Freak. Chapter 11. Anakin meets Senator Monday. Anakin makes his way to Padme's office. It's been a while since he last saw her. Everything with the Senate he's mostly tried to help Cody keep Obi-Wan from going completely without sleep lately. It's lucky that he hasn't needed to leave the temple for missions recently, though he's not exactly sure what has caused the lull. Besides, it's ridiculous that Obi-Wan is in this mess in the first place, as if his master doesn't have enough to do even without this whole Chancellor nonsense. Senator Amidala, are you free? It's hard to remember to use formal address when speaking in the Senate building, but it is important, so he does his best. One single slip could be enough to expose them, and he can't allow that to happen. He can't. Knight Skywalker, do come in. Wait a minute, that's not Padme. He steps into Padme's office and finds himself face to face with Senator Monday. Padme's there too, of course, but he's kinda distracted. The senator looked very large on all the holovids that went around, but in person, she's even larger than Anakin thought she'd be. The Ganangini are pacifists. Or maybe not. They could probably be really useful on a battlefield. Knight Skywalker, it is a pleasure to see you. Senator Monday and I were just going over some legislation that passed recently before Chancellor Kenobi took office, Padme says. She flashes a small sympathetic smile. She knows Anakin doesn't care much for legislation and Senate talk before her face returns to the neutral state it was in before. I see. It's a pleasure to meet you, Senator Monday, he says to the other senator with a small bow. You were Chancellor Kenobi's Padawan, yes? Yeah, I was. He taught me a lot. He wants to smile because that's generally what you do when you're being polite, but he distinctly remembers Obi-Wan telling him never to smile to a Nangi because they find it rude. He can't help the twitching at the sides of his mouth. There's a clicking noise that seems to emanate from Senator Monday. It takes him a second to realize that it's the Nangi's version of a laugh. Anakin isn't sure if he should be insulted or not. Why is she laughing at him? You do not quite have your former master's way with words, I see. Her tone is warm as she speaks, and Anakin can feel no mocking or ill intent in her words. That's more Obi-Wan's area. Padawans don't always take up their master's vocation, though Master Jen did teach Obi-Wan to negotiate. I never really had the head for it. Anakin shrugs slightly. It isn't something he's ever been very worried about. He was not always so skilled himself. He was still a youngling when he visited my planet, headstrong and brave, but a mere fledgling negotiator. He's learned well. She sounds nostalgic, as if she's remembering good times past, but in the Force, Anakin can also feel pain, as if the memories bring her both joy and pain, are both good and bad. Anakin doesn't often hear stories about Obi-Wan's youth. His master never liked talking about it much. Like, with a lot of things, really. Definitely one of Obi-Wan's worst traits. I first met Chancellor Kenobi when he was already 20 years old, and an experienced Padawan, just as he was knighted, in fact. I would be delighted to hear more about this mission he had to your planet, Senator Monday, if you would indulge me. Padme says from behind Senator Monday. Thank the Force for Padme. I would be delighted. It is a wonderful story, though it is also painful, Senator Monday says, turning and making her way over to Padme's office sofas. Anakin takes his seat and waits for the story that quite possibly is one of the reasons, if not the reason, Obi-Wan got voted in as Supreme Chancellor.